Someone suggested that evangelicals are trying to accelerate the end of times because that's the only way that Jesus will return. Yeah, that's correct. That's 100% correct. You may not know it from watching my content now, but I used to be part of a very conservative denomination, Presbyterian Church in America. And as a homeschooling parent who has run in sometimes very conservative homeschooling circles, has been friends with a lot of very, very conservative evangelicals in those circles for more than a decade and a half, this is 100% correct. While this is a position that I have never personally held myself, and I think most Presbyterians, because we're Calvinist, typically aren't as obsessed with the end times as some other denominations. After all, we're part of the elect. What do we need to worry about? Anyway, a lot of folks in Christian America very much believe that they need to bring about, that they have a role in bringing about the end times and the second coming. Depending on if they're pre-trib or post-trib rapture, they think that they can help kick off the tribulation. In fact, this is why so many evangelicals are Zionist, are very, very pro-Israel. It's not because they actually care about the Jewish people at all. It's not actually because they see Israel as a holy land the same way that other Christians around the world do, that Muslims do, that Jews do. It's specifically because they believe they need the restoration of the temple in order for Jesus to return again. They are using Israel. They are using the Jewish people there in order to fulfill their eschatological prophecy. That's the whole goal in conservative Christians in America supporting Israel. And a lot of them believe that electing somebody like Trump will help accelerate that process. It's weird to me that they saw Barack Obama as evil. They saw Kamala Harris as evil, but they didn't think that electing those folks that they literally would call the Antichrist, that they didn't think that electing those folks was going to accelerate the end times. It's voting for someone as Trump that they see, someone like Trump that they see as their God-ordained, like basically living at the right hand of the Father, basically another Jesus figure. By the way, if you have not read the book Jesus and John Wayne, A+ do recommend. It will help you understand why evangelical America is slathering over Trump. But so many evangelical Christians really kind of seem like doomsdayers. They are very much like, they say in the world, but not of it. Their mindset is focused on the second coming, or it's focused on heaven. It's focused on the kingdom of heaven being manifest here on earth. It's not actually about this life that we're living. That's why they see suffering as not that big of a deal. Because a lot of people, especially women, are meant to endure suffering. That's a good thing, and that will bring about blessings for you. And what happens to your body here actually doesn't matter that much. It's all about the condition of your soul or your spirit, depending on the denomination, whether they define it as soul or spirit, and whether you are right with God, the status of your salvation. Which is, again, weird because so many white Christian men are obsessed with their own wealth and power while they're in this life in a way that you would think would compromise their salvation in the next one. And actually, this is very much why I have said for a long time that folks on the far left who have their violent accelerationist fantasies, who are willing to throw children, disabled people, the elderly, homeless folks under the bus for their bloody revolution that they think will bring about a second coming, a communist utopia, an authoritarian communist utopia, but their brand of authoritarianism, not the brand that we have now. That those folks have not deconstructed from their evangelical eschatology. They are still immersed in it. They are still living it out. They've just transferred that worldview, that perspective, that desire for the end times. They've transferred that from a second coming of Jesus, wanting to do what they can to bring that about. They've transferred that into doing what they think will bring about their communist utopia. Strange how both of these groups were supporting not voting for Kamala. Strange how both of these groups thought that getting Trump back in the White House was going to accelerate the downfall of America and bring about their very disparate goals. And I think both of these groups are going to find out how hard they have misjudged when Jesus doesn't come back or we don't morph into an authoritarian communist utopia.